Happy Friday, everybody. You look amazing. Delicious crowd tonight. And as usual, because it's Friday, let's welcome tonight's guests. Of all the Jesuses I know, he's the Hotepiest. Social scientist and YouTube host, Hotep Jesus. She's from Denver, but gets high owning the libs. Editor-in-chief of The Federalist, Molly Hemingway. Like a speed bump, it's always best to avoid her. Fox News contributor, Kat Tim. And his fights are more lopsided than Kathy Hochul's eyebrows. My massive sidekick in the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Horace. All right, before we get to some news stories, it's Friday, so let's do this.
Greg's Leftovers.
Yeah, it's Leftovers, where I read the jokes we didn't use this week. And as always, it's my first time reading these, so if they suck, we all go out into the parking lot. We beat the crap out of a writer. Here we go. On Thursday, President Biden took a spill after delivering a commencement speech at the U.S. Air Force Academy. The White House says he's fine. He just tripped over an old sandbag. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez are reportedly spending $600,000 a month to rent Kenny G's empty Malibu home. Amenities include a pool, a screening room, and best of all, no Kenny G. Poor guy. After 79-year-old Robert De Niro welcomed his seventh child, fellow Godfather star Al Pacino announced he's expecting his fourth child at the age of 83. So your move, Diane Keaton. Meanwhile, a DNA test confirmed that Pacino is, in fact, the child's grandfather. That's funny, because it can't happen. It's not physically possible. Right. And you know it's going to be awkward when that kid gets old enough to borrow the car.
Jesus.
You don't see that many hearses anymore. Anyway, 80s pop star Tiffany was involved in a serious accident when a tire from a truck rolled across a highway and collided with her car. But she says she's fine and relieved to finally experience a second hit. I know. Chubby North Korean tyrant Kim Jong-un's weight has reportedly ballooned to more than 300 pounds. In fact, he's so fat, he's changing his pronouns to they. Singer Lizzo says she's close to quitting music because of all the negative comments about her weight. But some of her fans are fine with it. That's pretty funny.
Damn.
And if you're blind at home, it's a picture of Stevie Wonder. Some irony in that, I guess. And finally, next week, Mike Pence will announce that he's officially running for president. And you'll have to love his new campaign slogan, Build Back Blander. Yeah. Sipping the applause. All right, now to some news. So how was Donald's town hall after Biden said, see you next fall? On the same day Joe Biden worked on his breakdancing at the Air Force Academy commencement ceremony, Trump and Hannity talked about it during a Fox town hall. Trump called it a bad fall and got reminded of a time he could have slipped walking down a ramp after a West Point speech of his own. I wonder if he had the general next to him.
I had the general next to me, the commandant of cadets, nice guy, big guy, strong guy. I said, General, and he's wearing combat boots. They don't slip too much. I said, General, get ready, because I may have to grab you here.
Big, strong guy. I wonder if Trump said, he's not falling.
I said, I'm not falling. There's no way. So I'd go tippy-toe down the thing. That was a mistake, because it didn't look so good. I even agree it was. But I got killed, and they never covered that speech. I said, it was my best. Someday they'll, in 100 years, they're going to put that speech on. I really, but you can't fall. You just can't fall, no matter what. Just can't allow it to happen.
You can't be allowed to fall. But Trump then said it's not right to make fun of Biden's mental acuity. I don't know if he's supposed to say this.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. I actually called Sean, and I asked Sean not to joke about it.
I was joking
because he used to joke about it. And I said, honestly, I don't think it looks good for you or for anybody for you to joke about it because it's a serious problem.
This is the best ever. Trump telling somebody not to make fun of somebody. Awesome. Awesome. He's the best. We don't deserve him. So why is Trump so interested in taking the high road while Joe struggles with the paved road? I haven't seen an act this classy since Kudlow gave me a lap dance. Trump certainly was never shown the same courtesy after all. Of course, President Biden blames his fall on a sandbag, but it wasn't just any sandbag. Turns out it was a super MAGA extreme Republican one. Damn those pesky domestic terrorists. What say you, Joe?
Oh, yeah, look, I hate to agree with Orange Man, but he's right. Lay off old Joe. Besides, it's not the mind that's the problem. It's everything to the south. I mean, if I sit in a chair for more than 90 seconds, I can't feel my legs. But if I close my eyes, I'm as old as I am, then fly. Look, I'll show you. Okay, I'm running a 50-yard dash. I'm doing the high jump. But then I open my eyes. I can't feel my legs.
Terrible. All right. Molly, I kind of love this high road take because it really is a low road masquerading as a high road. He's like saying, this guy's in such bad shape, I don't think we should make fun of him. Right? It's like, bless her,
I don't know. I remember actually after Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, I went on TV and I was trying to be polite, but Donald Trump totally outclassed me. And I was like, okay, if you're not doing as well as Donald Trump, you need to roll it back. But it is true. Everybody sees what's going on. You don't need to pile on. And not to disagree with our esteemed president, but it's not the physical falls. It's the fact that he doesn't make sense when he's talking. He doesn't remember people's names. That's a bigger concern.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like if you looked at him from a physical specimen, he looks fine. He's actually looks pretty fit. But it's all the stuff going on in there, which ain't a lot. Actually.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like two cells fighting over a piece of shrimp. That's the thing that worries me, Hotep. Do you think it should be off limits to talk about his stumbling and his embarrassing behavior?
I got to give it to Trump. I'm actually very surprised at that take. And I'm proud of him that he did that. However, me, on the other hand, Jim Crow Joe, Crime Bill Joe. Karma's a bitch, and he can kiss my black ass.
Can you give Biden some credit in that even though he falls a lot, he still gets up?
I don't even know how he's operating. I want whatever drugs they're giving him. Because the fact that he's still operating as president is, one, surprising, two, scary, because it's like, we know he's not doing the job, so who's actually doing the job?
Exactly, yeah.
That's the scary part for me. But I just don't understand how he's still doing it. And I don't understand how they're going to run him again. This is abuse against elderly people.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah. Usually you take away the car keys, but they should take the house keys from Joe. Kat, do you think it's unfair and mean to make these jokes? Do you think Donald Trump is onto something, that it's basically kicking a man when he's literally down? I just came up with that.
That was good.
Thank you.
I mean, I wrote an entire book about how it's okay to joke about anything and everything.
Did you now? How's it doing?
It's doing very well.
Yes, I hear it's on the bestseller list.
It's doing very well, yes. And, but here's the thing. I think, actually, you kind of alluded to this. What Trump is doing is way more savage than any joke about it. Because he's basically saying, no, you can't make fun of it because this is a very serious, sick situation.
Yes.
Like, have you ever been in a fight with somebody, like a verbal fight with somebody, and you know what's the meanest thing they can do rather than something they can say mean back is like, you're being so crazy, I'm not even talking to you right now.
Yeah.
Like that, like now I am filled with rage for weeks. Because that's ultimately, it is ultimately the more savage thing. And imagine if he continued this to be like, no, I can't even engage because he's not well.
Yes. On the debate. On
Yes.
the debate stage.
I don't feel right. I'm sorry you guys all saw this. Sir, are you okay? Like, do you need anything? Because I can tell something's really wrong.
Yes.
And maybe you should go to bed and call me in the morning.
Nothing.
Savage. Nothing is crueler and more savage than that.
Yeah, it's like, and nothing is as important as your health. Not even this debate. I think we should just not have another
Or
debate.
no, the meanest thing, I'm worried about you. Go yourself.
Tyrus, he blames sandbags. What does that do to the sandbag industry?
I'm over here.
Oh, I know.
You got some Biden going on?
Yeah. Where am I? No, but you think about it. It's like sandbags saved millions of lives in natural
apparently
disasters.
the commencement speech was outside of a hurricane zone that had sandbags everywhere. I mean, he still got a little bit because when he hit the ground, he knew to point at something that wasn't there.
Yes.
So, I mean, he still got a little bit left. I mean, if you watched it, first thing he did was, over there. I just love the fact that as a former bodyguard, the Secret Service is over him. Because look at him, the Secret Service is looking at him, and he's not helping him up.
No.
He's like, this is the sixth time today I had to do this. That's just everyone else is around. This dude's tired. He needs a bacchiotomy from picking this dude up.
What are the things on the bottom of his shoe? Has anybody
Those
figured
are
that?
magnets to keep him from wandering off.
It's amazing.
The White House has that thing wherever he gets to the door, the metal plate on there activates, and it's stuck. Because otherwise, you're going to see him walking around the front yard and stuff. And anyone knows when they got to watch, Uncle Joe, the first thing is like, who's watching him? I thought you were watching him. And then they find him at the supermarket smelling little kids' hair. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like, that Secret Service man, he's just counting the days, bro.
Yeah.
He's even holding the other guy back. Nah, man, nah. Make him, he needs to do it himself. Make him do it himself.
I'm sick of this.
It's like you're out and your wife has too much to drink. Nah, she can get up. 2 margaritas, my ass. Get up. I'm not helping.
My God.
This is why I don't take you nowhere.
So I think we can all agree with Donald Trump. It's not right.
I'm in that kiss my ass line with Jesus over there.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.